Yay! Hello, everybody. This is one of those once or twice a month special live sessions. If you're watching today, November 30th, 2025, you are live with me. And I'm here with my wonderful chief of staff, Stephanie Fennett, my friend, my assistant. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. So happy to be here and be part of this.
Yes, she's going to take questions from those of you who are on YouTube watching the chat live. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm not sure if we'll be able to access that. So you can hop over to YouTube if you want. And she'll also take some questions that people have submitted in my workshops and monthly connections over time. Wherever questions have come from, we will not run out of them. I'm going to tune into my guides to get the best possible answers for you. And as a special treat, we promised, if you read my newsletter, you know that we promised that today my guides and I will lead a special meditation in the second half of the show. We're going to combine my new HARA method of anchoring and grounding our presence with my tried and true Bless Me method so that you all can get an answer from your own higher consciousness or spirit guides. How's that sound, Stephanie?
Oh, it sounds great. I can't wait to feel that blending of those methods and just the knowing and trust it brings.
Yeah. So we have no idea where these questions are going to go. Stephanie hasn't chosen them in advance. She hasn't run anything by me. All we did was just do a little invocation together and ask Spirit to guide us and bring us the highest answers to all of you. So be sure to put your chat in the chat if you're watching live. But meanwhile, we love you. Let's get started.
All right, let's go right away. This is kind of funny. This is from Julie. Do our guides find us boring if we are doing everyday stuff and not really picking up their guidance easily?
And the guides say, at times is not boring good. Oh, yes. You know, what goes up has an equal and opposite reaction and goes down. And that's when they really need to stand by and gently nudge us with their insights and their guidance. Even if you don't know they're with you, they are with you, guiding you, putting thoughts in your awareness that you often think are yours. So what to us is boring means you're pretty much flowing. They're monitoring your thoughts. They're trying to get through the monkey mind and put higher thoughts in there. So no, rest assured, they're always with you and they kind of like boring.
That is awesome. And I have to give kudos to Julie because she said, I wonder if my guides might prefer somebody like Taylor Swift.
Oh, they say she's a handful.
That's awesome.
I don't even follow Taylor Swift except a few headlines that I see when I check the news every day. But yeah, thank you. Guides have humor too.
I love that. I love it. Starting it off with a smile. All right. This one's from Lisa, who has a question for Sanaya. Given that Earth's population is in the billions now, say compared to 3,000 years ago, are the new souls created every so often? Are there new souls created every so often to fill human bodies?
Okay, so this is getting a little deeper here. It's really important okay, they want me to channel this. Okay. It's important for you. I'm going to look off to the side, everybody, instead of looking at the camera, because that distracts me and I want to hold my focus on the guides. So new souls versus old souls. You are now speaking in terms of human timelines. The soul is an eternal aspect of source. And the soul is a differentiated aspect of source in that source can know itself as something other than itself. And so that soul will take on, you are correct, numerous, up to thousands of lifetimes before source says that particular differentiation of myself has run its course. We have tried every modulation of this energy known as consciousness, and it is time to crank out a new life, a new soul, as it were. So yes, new souls are coming into being, are actually being recycled at all times. And that is why in your lifetime here, you may refer to new souls and old souls. And the differentiation comes in those who have already had much practice over many lifetimes in remembering who they are as differentiated aspects of Source, so that they treat each other with loving kindness and compassion instead of the normal human programming of judgment and disdain. There we go.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a deep one, and it's interesting because as I was preparing us, I look back at some of the monthly connection chats and other questions, and that comes up a lot. I was surprised, but it was coming up this morning as I was preparing.
Okay. There's a little side, the way I kind of went like that as you reminded me your question of a little corollary there about, well, how do we have room for all these souls that have ever been? Well, again, they merge back into pure being, pure awareness. But if you've ever seen videos of orbs don't take up place. They're just fields of energy and information that we can sense with our electronic equipment, like Ring cameras, right? Mm-hmm. But truly beyond this physical level, the soul doesn't take up space. It's consciousness.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you for that. All right. Kind of staying along the soul human line here, Christina asks, is it rare for a human being as a soul to only incarnate once and is then fully fulfilled and enlightened? Is that a rare occurrence?
You would recognize one known as Jesus.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all the answer we need on that one.
Beautiful.
Oh, that was unexpected and made my heart palpitate. Okay.
All right. Here's one, and I love the name Fluffy Pancake. This is from Fluffy Pancake. What is the connection between high-pitched noise and sensitivity ringing with clairaudient abilities?
That sounds like the person is asking about tinnitus.
I think
I hear a lot of people have that. Oof. Okay, they said don't go off on that tangent there. There's okay, I got to shift and ask this question. What is the connection between sensitivity and to high-pitched ringing and clairaudience? Anyone who has brought into awareness your innate abilities to use your non-physical senses, clairaudience being the hearing without your physical ears, clairvoyance seeing without your physical eyes, and so forth, will naturally be more sensitive to vibration, both lower and higher. For this reason, be sure to treat yourself with the awareness that you are more sensitive than others and to do your best to avoid that which brings you discomfort. But when feeling the discomfort from any vibrations that have you off balance, you can use the crossbar technique that Suzanne has taught you in the past. So I guess it's time for me to teach that one.
Yeah.
So by the way, I have a new course. This is perfect timing to bring that up. Let me pull up my little slide. There it is. I have a new course that's starting this week, Thursday, called Messages and Miracles Across the Veil. And we're going to be talking an awful lot about who we really are as souls, going in deep into that so that we understand why it is possible for us all to connect to higher consciousness. And in the very first module, which starts this Thursday, by the way, if you want more info on this, just go to my homepage, SuzanneGiesemann.com, scroll down to upcoming featured events. So in the very first module, I'm going to talk about what's become really central to my practice lately, and that's recognizing that our true attunement comes from this central axis that connects us to all that is. It's vertical, and it is pulling in energy from the earth and the heavens at all times. That energy, you'd call it the life force. So what happens is we get pulled outward. Our focus goes outward in 360 degrees, but mostly forward because we so are prisoner to our physical eyes and our hearing that we get distracted and don't realize that everything we need to know is right here in the vertical axis. So in answer to that question, when we get thrown off and oversensitive, we simply can pull our energy back to this vertical axis. So Stephanie, you might remember from my book, The Awakened Way. I actually have a picture of that one right here, because this is one of the practices in The Awakened Way. It's the book on the left, The Awakened Way. It's called the crossbar technique. Let me make myself full screen so I can share it all with you. When you notice you're off balance, maybe it's because everything's just been too chaotic all day, or people around you are chaotic, or the frequencies and music is too loud or too high, sounds are getting to you. You're in a restaurant and it's noisy. You can imagine that you are always and eternally this soul, vertically aligned with the cosmos and the earth, the life force breathing you through this central axis. But what's happened is your attention has become pulled outward. So that's the crossbar on the vertical axis, the horizontal bar. Right, normally aligned, we would normally grab that bar around here and say, I'm pretty balanced. I'm human out here and soul. But when you get off balance, maybe from high-pitched noises or anything like holidays, right? Then the bar's way out here. So in the technique that I teach in the book, and I'm sharing with you right now, you grab that bar where you might picture how out of alignment you are. If it's way out here, put your hands way out here, but so that you can see my hands, I'll do it here. And you just literally pivot that bar like this, so that it comes into alignment with the central axis. The second it comes into alignment with me, when I do it, I feel this beautiful zip of the current, just everything lining up. Stephanie, I don't think you did it with me, but have you ever practiced it?
Yes, and I'm so glad you brought it up because it's not one I remember frequently.
Yeah, and
Wow.
because I've been preparing for module 1 of the new course Thursday, I'm not going to reteach the crossbar technique, but I'm going to reference it because it's important with that central axis. So whether or not you do the crossbar technique or simply state, I am first and foremost a soul, and you just collect your energy backwards a little bit. Just pull it all in, focusing on that central axis. Instantly, the noise softens. I had to do this recently when we had the holiday dinner here on U.S. Thanksgiving last week. And it was a fabulous experience, but there was a big family we got to spend the day with, and it was just a lot of high energy. And after 2 hours, I just get to the point where I was like, I can't handle this. And normally I'd have to go for a walk or something, but I just pulled it back in. I hope y'all are enjoying this because it's relevant to all of us. Pulled it back in a little bit, took some nice deep breaths, focused on the HARA, which we'll talk about later here, the center of all of us down in the belly, and peace again. So that was a very long answer, but an important one for these holiday times.
Oh, and it is. It's so appropriate because I was just getting up this morning. I was thinking about, all the days with family and big parties and lots of food and drink, and I was feeling out of sorts, but the crossbar is just perfect. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
We're both soul, human, going out in the world. But when the world gets to be too much, you realize it's not the only world, and you come right back to center.
Wow. And you said soul first. And then, and as you were saying that, I think about that bar going here.
Yeah.
And it's true. And we were meant to have this experience too.
That's right.
Wow.
Hey.
Okay. This brings me to a similar interesting question from Teresa. How can the void assist with daily surrender from busy schedule? Can the guides answer this question? And void is in all caps. Okay. And I assume she's saying that place where you get where you.
Well, that's funny because let me pull up another slide here.
Okay.
Stephanie, you don't know what my slides, what order they're in or anything. I'll just show you this one. Okay, so if you know my Awakened Way app, that's Ty on there right now, my husband. But let me pull it up. Let me pull up the app. The Awakened Way app is free on any smartphone. Just search for Awakened Way. But today, the reason I'm pulling it up is because today's message is all about finding that void. So that's what's just amazing. So let me see. I'm not going to read it because y'all can read it yourselves on the app, but I'll just pull it up. It's called Refreshed. Well, actually, read the question to me again, Steph.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
How can the void assist with daily surrender from busy schedule?
Okay, so I am going to read the message. I love this. I can tell you all that almost every time I do a reading, something in the daily message comes up in the reading without me even thinking about it. So here we are today doing the live podcast, and today's message from November 30th, 2025. You cannot resonate with everyone whilst playing the human role. You are meant to be different, programmed to see what separates you. How tiring. Would you like a respite? Fall asleep whilst awake. Sink down to the core of you. That's the void. See? Sink down to the core of you where there are no differences twixt you and all others. Here you will find peace. Here you will find coherence. What is coherence? All you have to do is think about the difference between coherence and what's the opposite? Incoherent. So here you will find coherence. This, dear one, by the way, is love. Fall here often. So this is how the void can help you, by discovering that place in you that never changes and sinking down into it. Breathe and notice as the roles you play try their best to put you back into your costume. You may not be able to resist, nor would you want to, for you have chosen this earthly experience. But having found your inner sanctuary, the void, now you can see more clearly as you step back onto the stage and find what unites you all. That's how the void helps us, by realizing it's here and all experiences arise from it. The guides just said, do you see how we set you up today?
Thank you, guys.
And that's one of the things I'll be doing in my upcoming course, in my upcoming cruise. There's another slide, right? We always have a lot going on because it's just wonderful to help everybody get to this point. There's the cruise slide. Yeah. Join me in Barcelona, Spain, going on to Portugal and Morocco, 14 hours of workshop where we're going to experience that void and then see what arises from it later today. Stick with me because we're going to do a guided meditation and I'm going to get you to the point where you feel it, that void. You can't keep it completely empty for long, like the guide said, nor would you want to. But when you realize that baseline, that basic essence is right here all the time, and we can access it just long enough to pull in the energy and rest there, that really is a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say, Suzanne, is one of your most powerful techniques? There's so many to get quickly into that void. For me, I think of the 3-minute sip, but
yeah, the sip of the divine SIP. Find that on YouTube. The most powerful method is a vagus nerve breath. That's also in the Awakened Way book. Absolutely fantastic. A vagus nerve breath means you breathe in very slowly to the count of 4, 5, 6, and then exhale equally slowly. We'll do it in the meditation here shortly, but longer than you inhaled. And why it's called the vagus nerve breath is because that extra long exhale puts pressure on the rib cage, which pushes on the vagus nerve, which runs from the brain stem all the way through your torso. That initiates the body's relaxation response. It's taking advantage of your parasympathetic nervous system. You do it yourself. You realize I'm off balance. I'm a little stressed. I'm going to put myself in relaxation mode. And it's not just the breath. It's what the breath does to your whole nervous system. Calms it down instantly. To me, that's just a moment of, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Talk about being able to drop into that quickly. And that's, yeah. And yeah, go ahead.
So just add, it's not just the body slowing down, it's the brain. You drop from what we're in right now, brainwaves in beta mode, to alpha mode, and that's the optimal meditation state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we teach that whenever I'm working with people in grief, and it's amazing the number of people that aren't aware about that. But the more we speak about it, right, the more people can know. And it reminded me, Suzanne, the Awakened Way book. I have it right here. I go to it all the time. It's earmarked. Hay House One More Day is having a 50% off sale. I just wanted to mention that in case you need gifts or you want it. It's just such a great thing to have on hand, and it's on the Hay House, Suzanne's product page on the Hay House website. So thank you, Hay House.
The 2 books on there from Hay House, Awakened Way and Making the Afterlife Connection, 50% off, mediumship, normal price, but also an excellent book. So yeah, good. I forgot that was still going on. That's great.
Yeah, through tomorrow. Okay.
All right, another question or two before.
Okay, Janice is asking, is there a knowing to tell if we fulfilled our soul's purpose, or is that something we don't find out until we cross?
I love how the guides are just talking straight through me, and they're giving me this lovely feeling of love right now. Your body, I don't know who to speak as the guides or speak right to you. They said just do both. Our bodies are programmed to know when we're on purpose. It's called love. When we shine our light. Okay, guys, you talk then. When you share love with another, how does that feel? It feels what you call good. You feel the connection. This is your purpose, to shine your light as brightly as possible. This can be through your word, through your actions, through your thoughts. This is your most basic, essential purpose. For you, the soul came here knowing that you would be pulling in, receiving the life force at all times. And your purpose is to, as we have put most recently, give as good as you get. Love that. So we're getting in the life force, and our purpose is to give it out. What is the life force? It's love, it's connection, it's awareness. We pull that awareness of who and what we are. We breathe that in, and on our out breath, perhaps give a kind word to someone, a smile, a loving word. Think positive thoughts. Don't judge someone as we might in our human mode. Now, then, after that, what is your calling? So they're saying take it to the next level, because that's the most basic, living on purpose. But you can see that your inner knowing tells you, yes, this is what I came here to do. And then the world responds beautifully to that, and your life starts to flow. So when you're in a state of flow, that's the next level of knowing you're on purpose. And now that you're flowing, you have the space to notice, what is my passion? What do I feel called to do? And if it can be in service to love and goodness and connection, whether that's to other people, through creativity, to animals, to plants, the planet, then you'll just feel that inner reward bubbling to the surface.
Oh, so it's so beautiful, right? Because sometimes we get so wrapped in our heads about what am I supposed to be doing? Yeah. And the reminder is that it's love. When you give love, you're doing what you were meant to do. Woo.
Yeah. Okay. Let me toot your horn just a little bit here, Stephanie. You mentioned earlier when you're working with people in grief. Stephanie knows true grief. Her daughter, Katie, and her stepson, Nick, are both across the veil, and she's transmuted that grief. She still feels it, of course, but into service through others, to others, through your nonprofit organization, Care Farm. You want to just quick?
Yes. Care Farm with a K will be coming out with our 2026 dates. We do about 6 a year, and it's a beautiful weekend where you come and you know you're not alone. People can come and get out into nature and kind of just use the healing benefits of other people who are in the same circumstances and in nature, and understand they're not alone.
People who are dealing with grief.
Yes. Those who are dealing with grief. Yeah.
And completely free for those who
yes.
Yeah.
That's church. We want no barriers for people to get the love and support they need.
Beautiful. All righty. How about a couple more questions?
Okay. This one's from Richard.
Sorry, keep going.
Okay. What is Sanaya's advice for bringing about a desired outcome to fruition?
Oh my gosh. See it as already done, trusting that the greatest good be served by your desire. So first, examine your motives. Why do you want to do this? Is it selfish and egotistical? Then it probably won't be fulfilled. But if the motive is pure and will bring something of benefit, okay, if it's just to you, but because if it's of benefit to you that will help others, then eventually it will have greater power. So examine your motives. And then have a very, very clear vision of the end result, not necessarily the steps to get there, because that we leave up to spirit, but a very clear vision. And then see it in your mind's eye as already existing. Now you're creating with consciousness. And finally, feel it as if it has already happened. How does that feel to you? What is the satisfaction? What are the benefits? Why do you want this? Feel that having been done and fill that with gratitude. It's funny, at our Thanksgiving dinner, one of the young men in the family just passed the U.S. bar exam to be an attorney. And I said, what kind of law do you want to practice? He said, well, I really don't know. And I said, oh, that's interesting that you don't know. And he said, I'm sending out resumes left and right. And I said, but you're not sure about what kind of law you want to practice? He says, nah, maybe this, maybe that. And I took the time to do a little mentoring. I was feeling out, don't be pushy, don't be telling him things he doesn't want to hear. But it was very clear to me he had never heard the concept of creating with consciousness. Because Stephanie, I told him what I did with my sister. She years ago talked about a job she wanted. And I said, make a list of exactly the position, even the title, describe your office down to the carpeting, the paint on the walls, exactly the salary you want to have, how long your commute is. Everybody, whatever you're trying to accomplish, be as detailed as possible. And this would help her family, and this would bring her satisfaction. It would help the people around her. And then she started doing what I just said to everybody. Visualize it. You're in that job. You're sitting at that desk. You're opening your paycheck. And life is good. The commute is easy. All those things. And feel that. Stephanie, within a year, she came back. She said, I forgot I did that exercise, but I'm in my job now. And I found my old list. She said, Suzanne, everything on the list is here. It really, really works when your heart's in the right place and when you trust spirit and it serves the greater good.
Oh, I love that. And, I forget that frequently, even though, we talk about this a lot. So I'm going to commit to doing that.
Okay.
Let's everybody commit to doing that, to picturing that outcome. That's cool.
Yes,
So cool.
Why don't we do 2 more questions, then I'll lead the guided meditation. So everybody stay with me.
Okay, sounds good. Felice asks, can we choose not to reincarnate and be permitted that choice?
Absolutely. At the soul level. Right now, your human side, when it goes through challenges, we often say, I'm not coming back. I don't want to do this again. Why would I ever sign up for this? Then we get to the other side, and trust me, from talking to so many people, we're still people across the veil, still souls playing their roles so that their loved ones here know they're okay and they can continue to help their loved ones here. I talk to them and they say, oh my gosh, I got to the other side. My eyes were open. I feel the love. And they get a break for a while, basking in all that love. And then at the soul level, the soul says, okay, we can keep that story going, but I'd like to take on another role at the same time, because the oversoul is so much bigger than just one body, one lifetime. So yeah, you can choose, but working with your guides and higher beings, if there's still more light to shine for that soul, it's going to choose another lifetime.
Yeah, I can relate to those times when we feel like, oh my goodness, I just need a break from this. You think, why did I do that? But I could see the bigger picture, right?
That's
when you know the bigger picture.
Yeah. Good deal. Okay, last one before the guided meditation. We'll do more questions after the meditation. So when we finish there, come back.
Okay. All right. This one is from Irma. How do we practically step out of fear, uncertainty, overthinking, and doubt and step into our higher vibration where we can hear the intuition and guidance?
Oh my goodness, go back and rewind this video. You practice the vagus nerve breath. You do what today's Daily Way and the Awaken Way app meditation guided us to do, and you spend time every day in that space of pure peace, pure awareness, pure being. Even if it's just a few minutes a day, like Stephanie recommended with the sip of the divine practice. And the more you get to know that space, you say, oh my gosh, this is I, me, myself as a soul right now, this peaceful state. This state right here is beyond all fear. If I can carry this with me, this awareness that this is here, this access to guidance is right here. If I can carry this forward with me when I come out of this beautiful state for even just a few minutes, then throughout the day, I don't have to feel that fear. I can just drop back into this space, the crossbar, collecting my energy back here where I can now shift my focus from narrow, constricted, fearful self with doubts and memories to the self beyond the story, unrestricted, broad, knowing, aware, fearless, unguarded. That's the soul. So this is a practice. That's why you're part of this Awaken Way community. We love you all so much because we get it, right? And we're all in varying states of getting to that point, but it is the perfect lead-in to this meditation because I'd like you all to feel that state now. So Stephanie, so you don't have to sit there with your eyes closed. I'll just go to me on the screen now. We'll come back to Stephanie and back to more of your questions. But everybody, we are going to wait, let me come back to you, Stephanie, because I have to explain the HARA method. So you might want to chime in here.
Okay.
Okay. So let me introduce that with talking about, here we go. I led an all-day workshop in October called the Forgotten Center. It's now an on-demand course available on the courses page on my website, but it was all about unlocking a deeper connection with spirit. And what I introduced the Forgotten Center as is the center of awareness just below the navel, called the lower dantian, also known as the HARA. This is ancient knowledge. It's been a part of us, and sages have known about it. Energy workers know about it. People who do martial arts know about it. But I had forgotten what my guides taught me a year ago, that when we focus on the HARA before doing a meditation, before tuning into spirit, we amplify our power. When we align it with the heart and the head, we are now totally aligned in that vertical access I taught us about earlier. Now our connection with spirit is grounded and centered and stable. So that's going to be part of the whole 7-module course I teach over a period of 9 weeks with the Shift Network starting later this week. But the basics of it I taught in the Forgotten Center workshop. And I've found a way to work it into our daily practice very easily. I'm calling it the HARA method, where HARA is actually an acronym to help you remember to use it. Those of you who've been following my work or are part of the Awaken Way community, by the way, there's nothing you have to sign up to be part of the community. You just are because you're listening here, or you're on my email list and you get my newsletters. Just we gather whenever we can with kindred spirits to celebrate all of this and practice it. Then you're probably familiar with my Bless Me method, 7 steps to connecting with higher consciousness. And part of that course, the Forgotten Center, part of the upcoming course is how to combine the HARA method with the Bless Me method so that they seamlessly take you to that deeper connection with spirit. For years now, 15 years, I've been practicing connecting with spirit using the Bless Me method, and it works great. This takes it to another level, which is why I'm channeling my guides' answers instantly now, eyes open and getting greater clarity in my readings, because I'm anchoring that connection in the HARA. So here today, I'm going to guide you how we would combine the HARA method with the Bless Me method. Did I cover everything, Stephanie?
Yes. Yes, you did. And I everything I know and have learned from you about this, it just seamlessly fits into everything you've been teaching. You know,
It adds on. It doesn't take away, and nothing
Mhm.
was wrong before. This is just the next level.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's go do the meditation now. I would say whatever you're doing, if you're multitasking, set aside anything that's not this right now. Do not join in if you're driving. That would not be good. You can always rewind or come back to it. It'll be on YouTube and on the podcasts. So always good when we sit to do a meditation to have an intention, a clear intention. My intention for all of us today is to get an answer from higher consciousness, whether that's a loved one in spirit, a spirit guide, or your own oversoul, won't matter. So we're just going to, I'll ask you the question, I'll guide you to that question, and you're going to listen for an answer. So this is like your genie in a bottle moment, this guided meditation, to get the answer to a question for which you don't have an answer right now. So you don't have to think about what that is right now. Oh, the guides say, actually it is. They say right now, have in your mind an issue you've been grappling with that you would probably take to a psychic, right? I don't know what to do about this or that. And so just put that in the back of awareness for the time when I'll ask it on your behalf, okay? But now we're going to use the HARA method and the Bless Me method to get you into just the right state so that you discern an accurate, clear answer beyond your current normal waking consciousness. Sound good? All right. So why don't you close your eyes? I'm going to ask my guide to lead us, and we're going to start off. Normally we would start with breathing, but I don't want to do the breathing, then backtrack to HARA, and then go back to the rest of the Bless Me method. So they say it's perfectly fine to do the standalone HARA method, then we'll move into Bless Me method. You don't have to remember what the method is. I'm going to guide you step by step right now. So close your eyes for a moment and know and trust that you are a being of energy, first and foremost, a beautiful soul through which the life force flows now. Visualize yourself as a ray of light, a sunbeam of the one divine light. As that beam of light flows through you, picture it flowing down from above through the crown of the head, all the way through the body, through your feet, down into the earth. The center of your physical being is just below the navel. Place your hands gently upon this area, which you would call the belly. This is the HARA. And the first step is H. Hold awareness here at the very center of you, at both the physical and the non-physical level. And holding awareness here, affirm, here I am. Now the A in HARA is anchor this awareness, here I am, down into the earth, moving your awareness down from the HARA through the legs, past the feet, and down just a bit to a chakra known as the Earth Star Chakra. This anchors you fully in the flow of energy swirling about you at all times. Fully anchored now, not just through the feet, but from the very center of you. Now for the R in HARA, raise that energy through the Earth Star Chakra, back up through the legs, back up to the HARA, and pull it upward now, raising it up through the heart. Rest your hands on the heart and affirm, here I love. And raise the energy further up to just behind the eyes, the area of the head dantian. You can place your hand there as well and affirm, Here I see with spiritual insight, and raise the energy further up, just a bit above the head. You'll encounter the soul star chakra. The energy anchors there and continues flowing upward. And now the A in HARA method aligns this vertical axis that powers and breathes you as a soul. Breathe in and out easily, pulling energy up and down at the same time from the Earth Star chakra and down from the Soul Star chakra. The two energy streams meet in the HARA, the very chalice from which that energy rises up to the heart and the head. And from this state of alignment, you are here, you are clear, and you will know truth as you discern it. Now, having held awareness in the HARA, anchored it into the earth, raised it up through the heart and the head to the heavens, and aligned these three energy centers, we now move on to the Bless Me method by becoming very relaxed and open, first with the breath. B. Breathe in through the nose very slowly to my count. In, 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 in. Exhale through gently pursed lips. Out, 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 out. Repeat that beautiful, slow vagus nerve breath on your own, breathing in slowly. In, 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 in. And as you exhale now through the mouth, release all tension, feeling so much more relaxed already. As without even thinking about it, the brainwaves slow down, the body relaxes, and you are attuning yourself to higher consciousness by dropping into alpha. Breathe in one last time, breathing in through the nose, slowly. In, 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 in. And as you exhale now through the mouth, search your body for any pockets of tension and release them as you exhale into a beautiful state of relaxation, readiness, and attunement. The L in Bless Me stands for lift your vibration, not through activity, but through gratitude. Bring into awareness now something for which you are very grateful. Feel that gratitude coursing throughout your system. Take enough time to actually find that moment of gratitude and roll around in it. The three energy centers, head, heart, and HARA, are the main collection points of the life force where it is amplified. But you also have 7 chakras within your physical body, in addition to the Earth Star and Soul Star chakras. By visualizing these 7 chakras fully open and balanced, like the colors of a rainbow shining brightly, you bring both systems, the chakras and the soul awareness centers, the dantians, into alignment and balance. Hold awareness at the root chakra, at the base of the spine. It is flowing beautifully, open and clear. Move awareness to the sacral chakra, also in the belly. Visualize energy flowing forward and backward, front and backward, open and clear. Move awareness to the navel, the 3rd chakra. Picture energy flowing forward and backward, open and clear, clearing any areas of density that might block the life force flowing through you. As you continue to breathe gently and slowly, move awareness to the heart chakra. Picture any dense energy being released as fresh energy flows forward and backward through that heart chakra. It is now open, balanced, and clear. Move awareness up to the throat chakra, where any times you have not spoken your truth, that blockage is now released, for you are safe as the soul to hear and say your truth. Feel the energy flowing freely forward and backward now, cleansing that area so that chakra is open and clear. Move awareness up behind the brows to the area of the third eye, the sixth chakra, interacting with that head, dantian, pulling in wisdom, releasing any blockages to clear sight. Visualize it now, open and clear as the energy flows forward and backward freely. Move awareness to the top of the skull, where the energy flows up and down beautifully, matching the root chakra in flow, open, balanced, open to spirit wisdom, to the beautiful flow of the life force. Now visualize that vertical axis, beautifully aligned, a bit wider than normal in your normal waking consciousness. You are now a beautifully tuned instrument, ready to hear the coherent tone of spirit as it plays through this instrument. You do not need physical ears or physical eyes to discern any message that comes to you. You do not even need words. With your 3 soul awareness centers and your 7 chakras aligned, you will have a knowing that is beyond words. You may need words later to put what you have received into words, but be willing to receive a transmission, a download of insights and guidance that serve your soul well on its journey. Take in a breath for the E of the expand stage of the Bless Me method, and as you exhale, feel all boundaries dissolving. You are not separate from all that is. You are not separate from those around you. At times in your physical body, of course, it feels that way. But in this time together now, you are a beautiful light, a ray of light that shines and intermingles with the highest vibrations so that you can receive exactly what you need. You in this moment are limitless consciousness. Moving on to the first S in Bless Me. Set aside your identity as a limited human being by simply saying, I surrender that focus for now. And now, second S, shift to the awareness by stating and affirming, here I am, a limitless soul. And so it is. And now merge with higher consciousness by inviting in to resonance in your field, inviting in the resonant awareness and conscious field of whatever higher being has the answer and the solution, if only the first next steps to whatever issue you brought into this meditation. Without lapsing back into the human role, remaining in expanded consciousness as the beautiful light of source that you are, recognize that you took on this human journey with its challenges. And in this restricted role, it is often difficult to see solutions. But here you are as a soul, open to receiving guidance. And so, ask silently now, what is my next step? What is the solution to the challenge I am dealing with now? Having merged with the higher being with the answer you seek, sit back now and simply experience the download that flows. Simply listen and look from the soul. Downloads come in burst transmissions. All that you needed to know was given in those brief moments. For the untrained human, the monkey mind wishes to step back in, but the more time you spend in this beautiful, expanded, natural state as a soul, the more easily you will hear and receive and see the guidance you need. For now, taking advantage of this still expanded state, knowing that your guides and loved ones are as near as always, here present in their I am state. We will complete this session in this beautiful expanded state by asking an additional question. What is it I need to know right now that I don't know? And listen. Holding awareness in. Rest one hand on the HARA, one hand on the heart, and feel gratitude for whatever experience you had. There need not always be bells and whistles. Sometimes simply the peace of this expanded state is what you needed most. In gratitude for your efforts today, for your presence with us, we send you now a burst of healing energy. Every cell in your physical body knows how to achieve full health. You have done your part today in bringing the sheaths of your bodies, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, into alignment. We are giving you a transmission to hold that alignment long enough for healing to take place at the level that your system of bodies needs most in this moment. Know that you at the soul level are the healer of your human role. And we thank you for taking this time to allow this healing to take place and these insights to flow. Come back often. And now, knowing that as you return to your human role and step back into your costume, that being the human body and human waking awareness, know that as a result of this time together, you will feel refreshed and energized as we count you back down from 3 to 2 to 1. Take in a beautiful breath and a big smile and come on back. Ooh, that was nice.
Wow.
I love being able to turn that over to Sanaya and not know where we're going or how it's going to unfold and just trust spirit. I would love if you all that are joining us live, put your comments on YouTube, put your comments in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know how that was for you. If you want to share what you got, that's also great. Whew. How was that for you, Stephanie?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. Two things. It can be simple. Sometimes it can be really simple. It doesn't have to be this earth-shattering thing. I got something that was so simple that to me it was genius. Like I have this relationship I kind of want to heal and repair, and I always wish, well, why can't it be this way? Why can't they do this or say that? And I just heard, just move. You change your approach. And it wasn't even heard. It just came in. You know, I didn't hear it. Just kind of came in. So it was very simple, but I knew what it meant. You know, you do, you know, you change your approach. You know, stop thinking about the other or the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and then like you said, the simplest things can be profound because we miss them, and the soul knows. So what I'm being guided to remind you all right now is one of the beautiful things about the HARA method, and why I really hope more people will take this course, because I taught it to you today, but it's so easy to forget. I forgot it a year ago when it was taught to me. But as a result of now using it for the past 3 months, it's part of me now. And now when I do my readings, I know truth from my own imagination. So what did you feel when you got that guidance? Most likely less questioning. Am I making this up? Stephanie, you knew just by the way it felt in your gut.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I needed to hear, even though it was simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we'll have people that say, you know, and you may put this in the comments too, and that's okay if you think, gosh, I don't know if I felt anything. How do you respond to that,
Oh,
Suzanne?
that's easy. I've been doing this for 15 years, and it's going to take you a few weeks to develop a new pattern. That's why the 7-week class is so timely, because it takes 3 weeks to get a new pattern. So have you been meditating regularly? Have you been using a process that helps you get deeper? We don't need processes ultimately. I mean, I can just drop into that state now because I've worked it for years.
Mm-hmm.
We don't expect instant results. That's why they're called practices, right? So part of the practice is being gentle on ourselves, having to readjust our expectations and hold the highest visualization. I am creating this state where I can drop at will into this and get clear guidance for myself at any time. And so just like you can visualize your perfect job, visualize the perfect outcome to these. That's what I did, and this is my reality now, and it will be yours too if you do the practices.
Yes.
And by grace. Speaking of grace, let me just for sure tell people about our virtual librarian, who we call Grace. Do you know about her? Go to SuzanneGiesemann.com/your questions answered, and you can ask and get answers solely from my and Sanaya's teachings over the year, including we've now downloaded the full transcripts from the Forgotten Center workshop. So all the information about the HARA is in there now too. So if we didn't answer your question, or you have questions about the HARA, you can ask them of Grace. And Grace is also on the app. I forgot that. So if you go to the Awaken Way app, which is free, over in the menu, it says your questions answered. And right there on your smartphone, anytime, you can go in and say, well, why didn't I get the answer I wanted? You know, stuff like that. Or anything you would ask us now that we didn't have time for. That's what is so cool. And then, Stephanie, before I forget, World Meditation Day is coming up.
Yes, I can't wait for this event, you all. Of course, we've been talking about it for several weeks and months now, but sure, go ahead, Suzanne, let them know a little bit.
So if you like that meditation today, come back normal podcast time, Sunday at whatever time we started in your time zone today. On December 21st, it's World Meditation Day, sanctioned and approved by the United Nations. We are holding a special free event called Awakening Through Stillness. So we're going to meet for about an hour. I'm going to talk about the benefits beyond just finding peace, about sitting in silence, carving out silence. I'm bringing in special guest Marcy Shimoff. She's an New York Times bestselling expert on happiness, and she's going to show you the direct link between meditation and happiness. And then I'm going to lead us through a unique meditation where we'll connect with loved ones across the veil. So, wow, I hope you'll mark your calendars for that. You can go to my website and scroll down till you find that banner for World Meditation Day. And we have a button where you just sign up to be notified, and you get the link so that in case you forget, it'll pop up for you.
Yes, yes. And please share liberally, right? We talk about the beauty of this community, and I see that in the comments going through the love and the support of each other, but share liberally this event so that others too can be exposed to this beautiful community and just the benefits and love it brings.
That's pretty much what it's all about, isn't it?
Yes.
We love you all. We feel the love. We do our monthly connection webinars every month. The next one's December 9th coming up with the latest teaching from Spirit. But really, it's also just a time for all of us to recharge and refuel and remind ourselves that we aren't only human. I just listened to somebody say that this morning. Well, we're only human. And I always want to say, no, you're not. Stephanie, before we leave, let me share one more story. I haven't shared this with anybody. I don't even want to bring it up with my husband because it'll spin him up. But I was thinking back, my guides showed me a memory where, let's see, I remember where I was living and where I was stationed. So that would have been the year 2000. I was in the Navy working at the Pentagon. And this was before I awakened to the fact that we are souls. I had no idea about the awakened way. I had no coping tools. And I was taken back to a moment where we had some rental property and it had a tenant in it. And the tenant hadn't paid his rent in 3 months and he refused to move out. And it was coming out. We had to pay the rent every month and we didn't have a lot of money. We're both just, working. I was working. I had my Navy salary, and I got so spun up. I remember cursing, and we're cursing this guy out on the phone. We were so upset because it was that whole human drama. I could feel the upset. It was a moment where I lost it, and I hadn't thought about that in years, and to feel the contrast between that role, that self, and where I am now. And I thought, what would happen if I was in the same situation now? Do you know what I would say, Stephanie?
I think so.
Yeah. Everybody that's in the Awakened community, you know what I would say? I would say, isn't that interesting? I wouldn't curse. I wouldn't lose it. I know I wouldn't, because I've had this practice of using these practices that we did today, the crossbar technique, all of that. I just don't go there anymore. Completely get, as we called it in the Navy, hair on fire. It's very rare. It may happen now and again now for different reasons, but nothing like in the past. That is a side of me I don't ever want to go back to. That's where my soul says, check. We don't need to come back into a body to have those kind of experiences anymore. So that's why we're doing all of this. That's why you're doing your life, everybody, right now, to get practice at going from hair on fire to being the fire of source and radiating that light and that heat and that love on everyone. And I know we gave some great tools today. Stephanie, thank you for moderating so beautifully.
Oh, my pleasure. It's so wonderful to be able to do this. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for volunteering on your day off and helping prepare for this. Everybody, we love you. Hope you go out and have a great day. We have lots of stuff, some free, some not free, but we try to find the balance so that no matter where you are or what you're doing, or what your life circumstances are like, we can all learn and grow and shine together. Love you all so much. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.